Hello everyone, my name is Kirti Lodha and I'm in my final year. So yeah, I did GSoC last year and my main interest lies in blockchain right now. Before that I was a front-end developer, I'm still now, but more I'm inclined towards the blockchain side and my GSoC contributions and my current internships are all on blockchain. Okay, so let's get started with Google Summer of Code. So what is Google Summer of Code? So basically it's a platform which is provided by Google to the contributors. It's only for open source contributors and you will be awarded for the contributions. Like you are putting your code out and you will be paid by Google. Okay, so it's an amazing program and it's obviously beginner friendly. So you can go out there and check how Google Summer of Code works. And today we are here to tell you how you can contribute or how you can start uh, towards contributing Google Summer of Code. Okay.
Okay, so why only GSoC and not other programs like GSoC? Any other open source program?
Yes, of course. So it actually matters. While actually considering you for Google Summer of Code, they look for your previous contributions in open source. So what I did, I'll tell you my experience. So first of all, just before Google Summer of Code, I did GitHub externship. Before that, I went to Kharagpur Winter of Code, and as per I remember, I started with Girl Script Summer of Code. Yeah, I started my open source contributions from there, and I did Kharagpur Winter of Code, GitHub externship, and then Google Summer of Code. So they obviously look into your previous open source contributions.
Okay, so means how GSoC works basically.
Yeah. So I'll just change the slide. So if you think that Google Summer of Code is just about money, I'll tell you partially it is because it's a huge stipend that you get just for 3 months, okay? That you actually don't get in a normal internship, but you'll get it in Google Summer of Code, which is like around, I guess, $1,500 for a medium-sized project and long-sized project, it is $3,000, okay? So it's a huge amount. So, but it's not just about money, okay? What will you do with only money being a student developer? It depends on your skills and the learning opportunities that you need, okay? So GSOC is not only about money, it's about the learning opportunity because you'll be learning a lot about the new tech stacks, the new project, new code base that is going on with the org that you're choosing. So yeah, how does GSOC help basically? So as I told, you'll be a part of the great community which the org has. I have a group of people whom I can rely on for my doubts, and even I ask them my own career decisions. I take feedback from them on my projects, and they help me a lot basically. Okay, and of course it builds up your resume. So when I put GSOC in my resume, the companies I have interviewed for, they have actually asked me about my GSOC project and they have known my contributions and then they have considered me for their company. Okay. And lastly, of course, you get a lot of, swags, t-shirts and, hoodies and all.
Yeah, okay. So when I was going
Hmm.
through the website of GSoC, there I saw the timeline. There were the
Hmm.
contribution period starts, then we have to send a proposal. So can you explain how this all works?
Yes. So if I tell you the competition that GSOC has, I'll tell you my college thing. So they have already started contributing, okay? They have shortlisted their organizations. They have already started contacting their mentors and they have already started contributing towards the code base. Okay. So I'll just tell you a rough timeline which goes on. So now the organizations are planning on which projects they'll be putting on, and then they'll be, filling the applications if they want to get into GSOC. Then the organizations will be accepted, and then you can apply for the organization. Then you have to put your application. Then you will be selected for the organization. But it is always recommended that before the organization is selected and You are selected. You should put your contributions towards the organization, even though you're not selected. Okay. So start it from now onwards. It's not too late. It's still January, like mid-January, exact mid-January. So you can start now also. It's the best time to know your mentors, know the organization, know the code base, and start contributing.
Okay, so like if we start contributing when the contribution proposals open, so how much time will we get to contribute?
Um, Meaning like when the contributions open means?
Like when the contribution period starts, actually, like it will be
Yeah,
starting
so
March.
it depends on you actually. The thing is, see, what the organization expects from you is how much you know about the organization. They will always prefer someone who knows very much about them and not someone who knows just the basics of them. Okay. So it is always preferable to start very early than the other contributors out there and put your code, put your ideas, your, discussion, do discussions with the mentors. Like show your name and your ideas to them. Okay. Make a fame in front of them that you exist and there's ideas that you are putting it on the project and you're making efforts. Okay. So tell them that you are there, you exist out there. Okay. So when they consider the applications, at least they'll see your name and be like, okay, this guy I know from months, he's contributing towards this project from months, and I actually know him that he's doing a lot. So let us consider him. It's always on that side.
Okay, so like if I am a totally beginner, so am I capable enough?
Hmm.
Like,
Yes. So saying this in fact, I'll tell you my story. So I just started with blockchain at that point when I was contributing towards GSoC because my other open source contributions were not in blockchain. It was on the front end side, on the web development side basically. But my GitHub externship was based on metaverse. So somewhat or the other, I had blockchain in my resume. Okay. But what I did was I started early and I started proposing ideas to him, the mentor basically. So what I did was like even if I didn't knew how to do it, it's fine. I just researched a lot about the topic and the ideas that came into my mind. I researched a lot and showed my mentor that I know how to implement it, though I didn't know how the implementation actually will be. Of course, you didn't when you don't code, you don't know how to do it. But I still had a rough idea how to do it, and I proposed my idea to him. And he did put some restrictions on it, and he was like, "Why this idea? Why not this and that?" At least there was a discussion between me and him, okay, going on. Then I came to know what he wants and how does he want it. I started proposing my ideas on that line and impressing him on my ideas. And then suddenly one day it was like, oh, that's cool enough. That's a nice idea that you proposed. So put it on your proposal. He told himself that line that you should put this on your proposal. So I knew what to write on my proposal. So when I wrote my proposal, I was pretty sure that, okay, my mentor already knows what I'm writing. So when he reads it out, it's already there in his mind. So it's always like that. Even if you don't know, it's fine. The ideas matter right now. Okay. The ideas matter and it's January right now. You still have time to learn and make some contributions.
okay, fine.
Yeah. So yeah, so I told her all this. Fine. So process basically lies if you already know something, it's very good that you can start contributing from now. Even if you don't know, like don't be disheartened. You can still learn a tech stack right now. Be a beginner web development. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. But at least try for it because it's free. You are not paying anything for this. You just have to learn a tech stack, go there, contribute, write a proposal, apply for it, check if your luck works. Okay. I was also a beginner at that time. I didn't had any strong point to put it on, but I tried my best. Whatever I could do, I did. And there I was. So you should try it out and, at least make some small changes. It's fine. Even if you don't like the UI, you don't like the how the code base is structured. Tell them I want to restructure this. Tell them I want to change this, that. There's nothing nonsense out here, okay? So it's always good that you try. Learning a tech stack is phase one. Okay, so let's come to this point, like what tech stack is allowed or applicable in GSoC. So they have every possible tech stack out there. Okay, so they have Android, web development, AI, ML, C++, Linux based, kernel based, everything they have. Even if you're not into tech, you can try out their documentation, read out the documentation. They even need technical documenters and writers sometimes. So you should check it out what they are actually looking for. Fine, you might get some nice issues that you can work on. Okay, so coming towards the prerequisites for GSoC basically. So the first thing I'll tell you is GitHub, of course, because if you're already into open source contributions, you should know this, that Git and GitHub is the most and important, the most essential um, thing you should know right now. That is how to push, pull your code, push your code, or make a repo, or merge your request, or put a pull request, anything sort of which makes a basic open source contributions valid. Okay, you should at least know it. This topic is not very tough. It's very easy. You just have to make a repo, how to collaborate, and the right way of collaboration is very important, because in a project there are many collaborators. Me, my friend, my mentor, all are collaborating in the same project, and you make some mistake out there. It's not good that you show your mentor that you don't know. And it's always good that you put proper naming conventions and other stuffs which are important. So I must recommend you that please go out and learn GitHub before applying to GSoC. It's really, really very important. Okay.
Okay, so like I have seen that a lot of people when they solve the problems on like lead code, so they put that
Hmm.
code also in the GitHub repository. So like that
Hmm.
counts towards the open source contribution.
See, those solutions and you're talking about the DSA problems
Yeah, right.
basically. Yeah, I don't think it counts as a you know Git contribution, because it's fine that it is a repository. It's fine that you're putting it on GitHub repo, but it does not show how to pull, push, and collaborate with other contributors. This is the reason why they prefer open source contributions from like early stage before GSoC, because if you are contributing in an open source organization before that, you know already how to pull, push, and collaborate in a organization. So they always prefer someone who knows it.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Next is, okay. So this is basically what you should put. I guess your question was this, right?
Yeah, right.
Ansh? Okay. Yeah. Somewhat it will be okay, but I won't say it is the best practice. It's not the best practice. So don't go for it, basically. Putting your DSA codes and all doesn't make sense at all. Fine. You have to show collaboration. How you are contributing with your friends. Your friends are putting some code, you are putting some code, and how you resolve the merge conflicts and other stuffs. Okay.
Okay.
Phase two is becoming a contributor. Okay. So the most important and difficult work in a GSoC is to find a project. How do you do that? So the process is like, now what you should do, you should go out, look for the past organizations. Okay, so the organization which I had on my time, you have to search for those. There's a filter button. You have to actually put your tech stacks, suppose web development, or I did put blockchain and my own tech stacks. So if you put that tech stacks, a list of projects will be coming. Go to that project, read what they want. Fine, you have to check what actually they're looking for. Can you work on them? Like, do you find it doable, or is it just out of your scope and it's going above your head and nothing you're understanding, fine. What I thought it doable, but I wasn't understanding how to do it. So I researched a lot about it, like how other projects are working, how similar projects actually out there like that. So I did search for many projects and there were some similar tech stacks out there. So I learned them, came back with my, feedback, and I was like, okay, fine, this can be done, that can be done. So you have to shortlist basically at least 3 to 5 projects and then prioritize them. Fine. So in GSoC, you can apply for 3 orgs. You have to rank them 1, 2, 3, and if you get selected in first, then it's fine. Otherwise, second or third will be selected. Fine, or else none will be selected. So project hunting, I suppose you should start now. Look for the organizations that have actually came up for like 3 years past. Okay, past 3 years they have been participating in GSoC. So it's a high chance that they'll be doing it right in this year also. Fine. So search them, see what their ideas are, what their tech stacks are. If you are able to do it, if you even think 1% of it, it's fine. It's fine that it seems like I can do it. I might not be able to do it now, but at least if you give me 1 month, I'll learn something and I'll come up with something. So keep some buffer projects with you. Don't be like it's gone. None of the projects are of my scope and I can't do anything. So keep some projects here and there. It will be out of your comfort zone, but yeah, keep it at least. Okay. Okay. I think I told this already. Yeah. Project you like, number of selections that the org makes. Yeah, so it depends. This is the phases basically. So first is the project you like. So I applied to ASOCI. So that's an umbrella, Australian umbrella organization. So inside the organization, you have multiple projects. So my organization had around 7 projects. One was working on Flutter, one was working on Android, one was working on blockchain, and other 7 projects were there. So I did apply for blockchain, and you will actually get slots for each project which is selected. So it's not like the organization is getting 2 slots. No, each project will get selected for two slots or 1 slot or how many slots Google is giving them. So like my organization and my project itself got 2 slots. So me and one more guy was selected for that. And rest projects, somewhere it was 1, somewhere it was none, somewhere it was 2 or 5. So it depends how many slots they get. Okay. Okay. So contacting the community, this is really very important actually. So the thing is, how do you do that? So once you move to their page or their link where they have put out their, ideas and the requirements, they'll be putting out their channel links and their social media links also. So generally it's Slack or Glitter or Discord. Anywhere you can go there, talk to the mentors, talk to the past contributors, where you can discuss and see what they want and what your ideas are. Okay, now the next thing is when they don't reply. It is often and most frequent that they don't reply. Fine. So what do you do next? Second thing is you go out to the LinkedIn. Okay. Move to their LinkedIn, search them on LinkedIn, message them that you want to contribute and you want some help or you want some guidance or you want something. Message them there. In my case, I was not getting any response in the Glitter channel. I was not getting any response in the LinkedIn channel. So somehow I managed to get his email ID, my mentor's email ID. I went to his Gmail. I messaged him there, and it was very rare that somebody did that. So he contacted me on the email. He was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry that I didn't find you on LinkedIn, but yeah, tell me what's your doubt." So the time I got his response, like I was blown away. Like something positive is like I'm on my positive way right now. So I started talking to him on email itself, and then it was on other channels and other stuffs which went on. So don't sit for the reply. Don't sit for the response that somebody will come up and give you. No, keep on contributing to the community and keep on messaging them on different channels. Maybe they're not active on one channel, but you might get them on another channel. Okay. And please don't spam them with your messages. If they find you like that, they'll basically block you or discard you from everywhere. So please don't do that. Yeah, so how do you do it basically? So this is basically a step-by-step process or a summary of whatever I told past. So first thing is you have to find a project which you think you can or you are capable of doing it. Then you find a bug, or I would say that you go through their code base and then you see that if you think there might be a bug, or you know, if you think that that's not correct, but you can fix it or you have a better idea, you can definitely approach them, the mentors basically, and discuss your ideas with them. Next is find a tech stack. So the thing is, a project is made of many tech stacks, okay? It does not depend on you need to know all the tech stacks out of there. No, even if you know HTML and you want to edit their HTML front end page, it's fine that you know one tech stack and you go with that. It's absolutely fine. Next is find issues that are open and need help. So it might be there are open issues in the organizations already. And if you think you can work on them, then of course you can go ahead and start contributing. Of course, mention in the comment section that you want to contribute and want this issue assigned to you, because many a times it happens that you are also doing the same, and suppose Ansh is also doing the same. So both of us, contribute to the project at the same time. So there's a conflict, and whose code will be merged is actually a problem then. So you should always tell them that you want this issue and you're working on them. Like, let them know that you're doing it. Okay.
Okay,
Next is find
so
an organization that is friendly and going to participate for sure. As I said, like, look for organizations that have already come up for 3 years in GSoC, and mostly will be coming for this year also. And for this reason, you should not stick to one organization, stick to at least two, three organizations. Even though one organization doesn't come up, you must have, alternative option right now. Then introduce a new idea for the organization. And of course, if you don't find a bug, go ahead, talk to them. You know, even if you want, you can fix them if you can, of course.
okay, so like
Okay, so yeah, go ahead.
so whenever we see an issue on the GitHub, like when we visit their GitHub repository,
Hmm.
so can we start changing the code and like
Hmm.
creating a pull request, or we should first discuss with the mentors, like what should we change in the code, or we can start working on that issue on our own?
Yeah, so
Because
as I said, the problem is, huh,
because
go
when
ahead.
I was previously creating an working on an issue and created a pull request, so I was asked by a mentor that you first have to discuss with the mentors like what changes
Hmm.
we basically needs beyond that issue.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. So you need to tell them what you are trying to do actually, okay? Because it takes a lot of time. Suppose you are creating a pull request. So it takes a lot of time to actually go through your edited files and see what you have done. So if you speak it out to the mentors and tell them what you are actually doing, it's a very easy task for the mentors to, accept you and take your code as well. So it's a high chance that your code will be, merged if they like your idea.
Okay.
Yeah. So most projects actually have issues that are beginner friendly, like HTML issues, front end issues, and documentation issues, which you can be able to do it. So you have to search for this. Actually, it's a difficult job, but you have to do it. Okay. Yeah. So as Ansh told, it's about building the project and getting your PR merged. It's a most difficult job that you should like that is actually. So I'll tell you my thing. My PR got merged at the end of GSoC when I was submitting my final proposal. From the first which I did in back in Feb 2022, my PR actually got merged in September mid, around September mid. So the thing was, I did a lot of work, but they were not able to, they wanted the entire code base to actually change, like restructure the entire code base. So I was dependent on the other contributor who was working with me. So he restructured the entire code. Then I did put my code after GSoC, like in September, and then the whole thing was merged. Before that, my code was in the PR somewhere, but at least it was accepted, like by the mentor. He told me like it's fine, it's good. We'll merge it after the GSOC. Okay, so it might happen that your PR is not getting merged, but let the mentor know what you're doing it. And when you're making a PR, there's always a descriptive section that you should put. So what happens is, like I told, like they will not be having so much time to go through your code base and look for every code what you have written, it's correct, it's not correct, what you're trying to do. Of course they don't know, so put a nice message out there that what you're trying to do, why you are doing it, and you want you want this code to get merged, and this will be a nice feature and other reasons and other stuffs. You can put it in an impressive way so that he likes it and he does at least consider you somewhere. Okay.
Okay, so like I have seen some GitHub repositories, they
Hmm.
like give you some points based on the PR merged. So
Hmm.
if we don't have any PR merged before making a proposal, so would that affect our proposal selection?
See, the thing is, point is making a PR here, fine. Because in proposal also we write that we have contributed and made a PR, but it's not merged, and you link them in your proposal. So at least if the mentor know you, he'll definitely click on it and see how's the PR and if he already knows about it. So it's always a better option to link your PRs in the proposal that you make. Even though it's not awarded, it will be at least considered somewhere.
Okay.
Okay. Hmm. Yeah, so as the process goes, you should actually start looking for an organization, choose a project, look for issues, and it's actually a difficult job. I know choosing a project and looking for the code base is actually the like most difficult job in the whole process. So try doing it. Don't give up. It's simpler when you break down things. So don't be like, I need to take this project, I need to take the code base. What happened to me was I wasn't able to run the software on my local machine. It was not running. I was getting huge errors. So I went on to the Slack, but they were not responding. So when the local code is not working, how will I contribute? That was the biggest problem in my time. So I went out to other contributors. I went them, DM them that I need your help. If you're free for 5 minutes also, it's fine. Then one of them approached me and he was like, what is your problem? Let's simplify it. So we went on a call. We actually saw that this is wrong, this is right. There are many settings that you have to do. Somewhere it was not mentioned in the documentation, and we got it sorted. And then I started contributing. So it's always not that you think it's a difficult job, it's not my thing, let it go and all. Whenever you're stuck at a problem, look for a solution which is creative and not into the basics, like you're searching in the uh, Slack channels and asking the mentors your small doubts. They won't be coming to listen to you out of your stuff. You should find someone who's ready to help you, or you should search for a similar issue in the Google, in the internet basically. So simplify your doubt, simplify your problems. You will definitely get a solution. and achieve something out of it. At least I believe that because it has happened to me all the time. Yeah, so as I mentioned that a project or a organization has to work on many tech stacks and many, you know, applications. So it does not depend if you know Docker, if you know blockchain, if you know front end, if you're a back end guy, it's fine. Look for the tech stack that you know, just you know. You have to just look at for that particular tech stack and search for the files. That's it. And do not go through the entire code base. That's I would say a very bad practice. Look for the file. Suppose if I'm a React developer, I know where my code files will be and with which extension it will be. So I'll search for that in the entire project directory. And when once you get the code or um, the repo running on your local machine, you know where the files are or how the files and the project is structured. So try to find the files. Even if you don't get it, go out in the Slack channels. See, I'll tell you the communication is the key here. So even that time it happened that I was not able to search a component. I was not getting it. So I went out there. I talked to my peers. I talked to my mentors and other, contributors. And then I was able to know, okay, this is not structured in a way that I was thinking. It's structured in another way because I didn't know other tech stacks which was implemented in the same code base. So they told me, they explained me how the things work and how you should approach towards this. So different organizations have different, implementations. So you should always communicate and look for, networking, talk to the past contributors also. So even in my organization, I have already got so many DMs in my LinkedIn saying that I want to contribute in this organization and I actually want help because I'm not able to run the code base or I have a new idea. So people are already approaching, right? Yeah, so this is basically a small, I'll say, advice that whenever in a Slack channel or in a community, people are discussing and talking about their contributions, don't interrupt in between and you know make a negative impact. You might want to stop the conversation, but it won't work like that because it's a very matured way of, you know, program, which you should not think of as a friendly conversation and, you know, go in and talk nonsense about anything. So, be patient even if your code is not working, even if you have an issue that is very urgent. Be patient and talk to other contributors, talk to the mentors. They'll definitely reply at least in a week, at least. Okay. Yeah, so the director of open source Google from Google says that open source is the ultimate referral. I think I've already spoken a lot about open source now. So this statement is valid here, as you can see. So my next question goes to everyone out there. So which project are you thinking to contribute or are you planning to contribute?
Yeah, so the mic is open. If anyone have any question, you may ask.
Or even if you're not, okay in unmuting your mic and answering, like questioning, you can definitely put it on your chat box.
Okay, so like I have a question. So
Hmm.
basically when we fork our repo on the GitHub and download its code base. So there are a lot of files like dynamic data in the database. So how
Hmm.
would we use that data in our local host machine? Because the data is already running on the server on the production server. But how would we
Hmm.
contribute to that data in our local host machine? Because
So yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
because we want to contribute to the data. Like if there is an issue in the HTML rendering or a React rendering prop. So
hmm.
that prop is not available on the localhost machine because that is created on the dynamic side. So how would we download that prop to our local machine?
So which part of the tech stack you're talking about? Is it front end or
Like
back
front
end?
end.
Front end. So uh, see, front end mein when you get the entire code base, okay, you get everything out there in the local machine. Fine. You just have to see the installations that you have to do before getting it started. So once you install everything, everything is up to mark and you run the application, it will start, right?
Yeah, so like when we see a production server, so there are the admin
Hmm.
users, the customers.
Hmm.
But when we
Hmm.
fork that repo in our local machine, so
Hmm.
we have to create a local the customer admin user. So how will that
Hmm.
populate the data which is already on the production server?
Yes, so I guess I didn't had this in GSoC, but it happened to me, I guess, in Kharagpur Winter of Code. So they make some dummy credentials, okay, that you have to ask for. You have to actually contact the mentors and you have to ask for the, credentials that are for test cases, for testing purposes, and not for the production level.
Okay,
I hope I answered. Yes, did you understand?
yeah, got it.
Yeah. Uh, Vedant, you mentioned about MetaMask. So, like, do you have any questions?
Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah. Basically, I made a project recently, and I had many errors using MetaMask. Like during the, if there is any error while like calling a contract on the blockchain,
Hmm.
the RPC errors are not well documented.
Hmm.
So like when they throw an error, you have
Hmm.
to like parse the whole string to get the error. Yeah.
Okay.
Like because the repo is not maintained on the GitHub.
Hmm.
So like I want to contribute to that repo.
Okay. So, like, the information you gave is very less, but what kind of repo and what tech stacks they are actually trying to?
It's basically the MetaMask wallet integrations. When you call
Hmm.
any contract on the blockchain,
Hmm.
if there is an error, like in any contract, there's a required statement.
Yeah.
So if that statement throws an error,
Hmm.
MetaMask wallet just like throws a raw error. There's
Yeah.
nothing to place that error and know what is the what basically is the error. Yeah, so
Okay.
like you have to praise the whole string, break it into many parts, and then
Hmm.
extract the error from the string. Like that was my process during like building a project.
Okay. So, like, were you able to do it already?
Yeah, I implemented a basic like string placing. Like I first split the strings in like the whole string into multiple lists, and
Hmm.
then parse the like specific error from them.
Okay.
Because like there's not a like whole method to do that. You have to do it step by step.
Hmm. Like, it's fine even if you're able to solve a error like in a simpler way. It's fine. It's not an issue.
अरे
It's good
क्वेश्चन
that
पूछ
you're
ले
doing it. So is it a GSoC repo
क्वेश्चन पूछ ले
or
बे
is it like normally you're making something or you're considering it
Like
in a GSoC,
पूछा बे
putting it in a GSoC
no,
proposal?
currently it's not on GSoC,
ठीक है
but
ठीक है
it's like
ठीक
an
है
open
ठीक है
source
ठीक है
repo.
Okay.
The organization is
Like,
not in GSoC still.
yeah. So you're
Like in
making
past years,
basically,
it's
Yeah, so you're making this as a contribution, like open source contribution.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. Any other queries?
Yeah, if there is no other query, we can end the session.
Yeah, one last thing I'll tell is once you are done with the contributions and once you are, you know, okay, I'll just say it out and then we'll go with the question. So once you're done with the contributions and everything, contacting them, the most important part comes is writing a proposal. So I'll share my proposal with Ansh and he'll put it on in the community. And if you have any questions, you can definitely reach out to me and yeah, we'll solve it out. Yeah, go ahead. I guess somebody raised hand.
हेलो दीदी।
Yeah, go ahead.
मैं फर्स्ट ईयर में हूँ अभी। मैं बस
Hmm.
मुझे बस सी प्लस प्लस का बेसिक कंप्लीट कर लिया हूँ। तो मेरे लिए है क्या जी शॉक, और अगर है तो मतलब कैसे कर सकते हैं?
So, क्या तुम्हें सिर्फ C++ आता है या you know some development also?
नहीं, मुझे सिर्फ सी प्लस प्लस ही आता है अभी।
तो क्या कंसिडर किया है कि डेवलपमेंट में कुछ करना है, कुछ भी?
दीदी मैं इसके बारे में रिसर्च किया हूँ तो पता चला कि ज्यादातर मतलब हम लोग को अभी सीपी करना है, फिर डीएसए करना है और प्रोजेक्ट में कुछ डेवलपमेंट करना है। तो मुझे नहीं समझ में आ रहा कि फर्स्ट ईयर में हम लोग को मुझे करना चाहिए या नहीं करना चाहिए ये सब चीज।
So you are in first year right now, ऐसा है?
यस।
Okay. ट्राई करने में कुछ नहीं जाता है। ऐसा नहीं है कि C++ में प्रोजेक्ट्स नहीं है, बट C++ के प्रोजेक्ट्स थोड़े टफ होते हैं बिकॉज जो डीएसए एंड एल्गोरिदम्स तुम एक कॉलेज लेवल पे लगाते हो, इट्स वेरी डिफरेंट फ्रॉम व्हाट यू डू इन अ प्रोडक्शन लेवल। ओके, और उनका मतलब सिंटैक्स वगैरह सेम रहेगा बट प्रोसेस और इम्प्लीमेंटेशन बहुत टफ होता है C++ में। सो वो बहुत लो लेवल लैंग्वेज है ना, तो ट्राई कर सकते हो। आई से ऑफ कोर्स एक ट्राई करके देखो कि एक्चुअली ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में है क्या, और तुम्हारे लायक कुछ अगर मिल जाए तुम्हें, मे बी, हु नोज। आई होप इट वाज क्लियर।
यस दीदी, थैंक यू दीदी।
हाँ ठीक है। एंड व्हाई नॉट डेवलपमेंट, लाइक क्यों डेवलपमेंट नहीं करना है?
दीदी बस यूट्यूब पे बहुत सारे वीडियोस देखे हैं तो वहाँ पे ज्यादातर जगह बोल रहे हैं कि इंडिया इंडिया में कंपनीज वही देखती हैं सीपी एंड डीएसए।
सी आई गेस इंजीनियरिंग बैकग्राउंड से हो, राइट?
यस दीदी।
हाँ, तो CPDA है एक पार्ट, बट इट्स नॉट द इंटायर पार्ट। होता है, इवन आई एम इन फाइनल ईयर, मेरे भी प्लेसमेंट्स हुए हैं, उसमें भी था कि डीएसए डीएसए डीएसए, बट फर्स्ट राउंड इज ऑलवेज डीएसए, नेक्स्ट राउंड इज टेक्निकल, जो तुम्हारे प्रोजेक्ट्स पे पूछे जाएंगे। तब क्या दिखाओगे? तब खाली सीपी डीएसए करके कुछ नहीं होने वाला है। या तो इतना सीपी करो कि गूगल क्रैक हो, फिर गूगल अमेजोन ये पूरा डीएसए सीपी पे उठा लेते हैं लोगों को। बट वही है कि इफ यू आर टारगेटिंग सच हाई कंपनीज, अगर नहीं मिला तो यू विल बी ऑफ नोवेयर। तो कुछ डेवलपमेंट हमेशा रखना चाहिए अपने साइड में। लाइक आई डिड बोथ, मैंने दोनों का रखा है। सीपीडीएसए भी मैं करती थी, साइड बाय साइड डेवलपमेंट भी करती थी।
दीदी डेवलपमेंट कब से स्टार्ट करना रहेगा?
मेरे को डेवलपमेंट ज्यादा पसंद था, तो मैं शुरू से डेवलपमेंट में थी। डीएसए मैंने मतलब अपना ऑन रख रखा था कि मैं भूल ना जाऊं एटलीस्ट, तो मैंने उसको हमेशा चला के रखा। बट जब प्लेसमेंट्स आए उसको थोड़ा हाई स्पीड पे करा। अगर तुम्हें डीएसए सीपी फर्स्ट ईयर में हो तो आई गेस अच्छा खासा ग्रैब कर लो, बाद में उसको धीरे धीरे प्रैक्टिस करते रहना। डेवलपमेंट आई वुड से कभी भी शुरू कर दो, क्या ही जाता है। वेब डेवलपमेंट से शुरू करो, मशीन लर्निंग से शुरू करो, या जो भी मतलब डोमेन तुम्हें पसंद है, कहीं से भी यू कैन स्टार्ट एनी टाइम यू वांट। फर्स्ट डे में शुरू करोगे तो लाइक बहुत ही अच्छा है.
थैंक यू दीदी.
Yeah, so Praveen says, can we contribute to multiple organizations at the same time? Yes, you can do it. So this is actually the point which I was talking about. When you're contributing to the organizations, it's not important and it's not necessary, I would say, that the organization will be selected in for this year. So at least keep some organizations for you, like as a buffer. Even though the first organization doesn't get selected, you have second or third as your alternative. If we contribute on open source repos which might not added in GSoC, will it still profit us in any way in GSoC's shortlisting? Of course it will do. Like looking into a proposal from your perspective is very different. Me explaining my own proposal. So if you want it, we can have a vote. Raise your hand or say yes on the chat box if you want to see it. So Ansh, do we have time? Like,
Yeah, we can have 5 minutes. Can have 5 more minutes.
yeah. So I'll just go and show them my proposal once. I think only the Canva is seeing, right?
Yeah.
1 second. Is it visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah, so the first thing is how you go with your personal details. It's very okayish to write your name, email address, your college name, graduation. Of course, you should provide your links, okay? So your LinkedIn, GitHub, and of course your resume because it has more projects that you speak in your proposal and it has more experience and other things, okay? So the first thing is how you put your idea. So this is the main part that you have to put it out in a proposal, right? So it's basically the first thing is choose an idea. So the name was Agora Blockchain. Agora Blockchain was a project inside the associate organization, fine? So you need to properly mention which project you're targeting on. A little, abstract and the technical details. So this is the most important part, how you're going to implement your suggested features or ideas. So I'll just scroll through this, look into what it is there, little description, some photos. This I already implemented. So in case, like in my case, what I did was they wanted 3 features in the GSoC to be implemented by one contributor only. They only wanted one contributor to do all 3 features, out of which before GSoC started, I already completed one feature and I already told him like I'm done with one feature. So this was one. I already put out my pictures, description and how I did it, the code, the main code, the front end, the back end, how I did it, why I did it. All codes are mentioned here. And there was a demonstration video. So I had a proof that I have already implemented. This links to my own YouTube channel and I have a small, demo which I just recorded. And after that, I explained other features, why I chose this. So I did put, so why these methods and why these techniques that I chose. So I did put public, data out there. And it's always better you tell them that this image has been taken from Wikipedia. So source the, what would I say? Like mention the source basically. From wherever you're taking the picture or wherever you're taking the information, put it out there that you have taken from this. Because if they find it plagiarized, they'll remove it. So basically mention. Second, this is just features, okay? So some explanations, block diagrams, other features. And specifically, so these 3 were features that they wanted. So I wanted something which is way different from other contributors. I did put at least 7 to 8 features of my own. So, which I already explained my mentor and I told him that I'm gonna put it, and he liked the idea. Whatever he liked, I did put it here. So around 7, 8 approaches, I did put it. It's all in buttons, like in uh, this ordered list. And yeah, schedule of deliverables is fine. Not a problem. Not a problem. Okay. So the main part, the skills, it should match with the project's requirements and your project idea. And you should mention some courses which go with the project and aligns with the idea. Okay, so I did put some, like 1 or 2 of my courses here. Just that. Don't be putting out, like, don't just put out any course out there that I did in C++, HTML and all. Put some reputed university and some reputed course. That's it. Okay, that is fine. Next is, this is very important, which is previous blockchain project development experience that you have. So if you have made any blockchain projects before, like I guess one of you said about implementing a blockchain project. So you can definitely put it out and explain and put a link so that they can move to your links and see if you have actually done it or not. Okay, like you have to basically prove yourself. That is the main part here. So I did put around 3, 4 my main projects. These are like my main projects, 3 projects, and other open source development. As you told, if if you're making contributions in other organizations, will it be counted? Please put it out here. So I did Kharagpur Winter of Code. Yeah, I did Hacktoberfest. I did this Girl Script Summer of Code. I did put my links and my PRs, which were merged, and my contributions, what I did. Okay, so why did I choose this project? You have to write a small description, why you like the project and what are you thinking of and what do you want to take it from them. These are some few questions that you need to answer. How many, like, do you have any other commitments during the GSoC period? How many hours will you work per week? The most important question in the entire proposal, I'll say, with the technical detail is why me? So why they will consider you. See, about me is a different thing. Why me is a different thing. This is about you, what you are, what do you do, and in which tech stacks do you work. But why me is why they should prefer you and why you should be chosen. So I'll just give you 2 minutes. You can read the paragraph. It might not be perfect, but it was accepted by the mentors at least. So it's just that I've extensively used the tech stack that they mentioned and the field of whatever tech stack it was. And I've previously worked on similar concepts and similar organizations also. And yes, I have contributed to Agora blockchain for around a month. I mentioned here that I already know your code base. I already know the thing. I already know the features and I've already contributed to one of your features. So I'm the best person, to take up your project and work on it. And I'm fairly confident to work on the project and make it a success. So that's it. It might look small. I don't know if it is looking or not, but it was around 20 pages of a PDF, around like 17, 18 or 20 pages. And it takes a lot of time. Actually, I took around 4 or 5 complete days, complete 4 or 5 days to actually finalize a proposal and, like, ready to send it for GSoC. Yeah, so that's it. I'll just share the link if you want. I was very quick enough to go through it, but yeah, I'll share the link.
Yeah, you can share with me. I will share with the community.
Yes, yes, yes. Any other questions or any other doubts that you have?
I think nobody have any doubt, so we can end the session. Thank you very much, Kriti, for explaining everything neatly.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.